Hi everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Let's make a check-in for a quest, and then we'll start the drag heap. Let's check to see if Rosaria is out. She's only sleeping, y'all. She's just sleeping. Ah, the quest has continued. Let's go grab it. She's only sleeping, everybody. She's... That's it. She's just sleeping. Looks like her sluggo, her pet sluggo, is also kind of dead too. I don't know if that's just a thing with the model or not. But she's slumped over, hand in front. Lace. She's only sleeping. That's it. So what did we get? We got an orb. One of the few. Let's go over some of these orbs. In Dark Souls 3, you get cracked red eyes and a normal red eye orb. That's pretty much bog standard. There are cracked blue eye orbs in Dark Souls 2, and I think there's also a full blue eye orb, but that doesn't make it into Dark Souls 3. And then in Dark Souls 1, you get a black eye orb. And only from the fact that Anastasia gets killed. So, let's read it. Arcane orb left on Rosaria's corpse. Have faith, her soul can be retrieved by invading the world of her killer and returning victorious. The black eye is proof of vengeance, but often appears serene as it casts its gaze towards Lorethrough. So, this is our second black eye orb, for the most part. What causes the black eye orbs? It's a symbol of vengeance, but is it something that just kind of pops out of both Anastasia and Rosaria? Or is it something different? So let's go pay a visit to Lorethrough. Hopefully everybody's doing okay on this Saturday. Hey Motsky. Nice to see you. So what do you think causes the appearance of a black eye orb? Since we only see, like, 2 of them. And is Anastasia a heavenly child?
Expected to see you again. Not sorry for the enrich her soul as well. I sow the seeds, I'll prune the mess. I, Leonard, swear so on my vows to the goddess. With her soul, isn't flesh enough for a sick beast?
I was out of stamina. You're out. Eat it. Ah, damn it. He's really pissed now.
Blessed Rosaria.
Because the only people who drop black eye orbs is Anastasia and Rosario. And both of those black eye orbs end up pinging here in Ein Orlando. Anastasia just outside, Rosaria right here. So it kind of makes me wonder. Sorry about that. So we are victorious because we parried a Shodal. And we have a couple of things. We have his Shodal, which is in Dark Souls 2, and I keep forgetting to look up if it is in Dark Souls 1. I don't think it is. And I think I did actually look this up, and it wasn't in Dark Souls 1. But it is in Dark Souls 2 as a Covenant reward, also as a ceremonial thing, and the Soul of Rosaria. Let's read all of that. Start with the soul. The soul looks very odd. It doesn't look like a flame so much at all. Even Black Flame Elfrida, with its witheredness, still a flame. But this is like this weird serpentine kind of light. Doesn't really look like a flame. Not as such. It also kind of looks like a woman sitting down. Soul of Rosaria. The soul of Rosaria, mother of rebirth, stolen by ring-fingered Leonhard. Return this to her extant corpse, and Mother Rosaria will spring back to life, as if nothing ever happened. Weapon. Crescent Moon Sword. Ring-fingered Leonhard's weapon of choice. A type of Shodal imbued with the power of the moon. Leonhard set out on a journey of rebirth, but decided instead to serve the goddess as a knight, and inherited this weapon. Crescent Blade. Assume a broad stance and fire off crescent moon blades. I think there's a theory that suggests that the goddess mentioned in this sword isn't Rosaria, and that it is a different goddess, and that he went to kill Rosaria for that goddess. He talks a lot about freedom when he talks to you after joining the Fingers that you're free to do whatever you like and kill whoever you like and stuff like that. And yet, his title is ring finger, mostly associated with marriage, tying the knot, tying oneself down, marrying into something. And it's kind of opposite of what he talks about with freedom anyway. There is that third reading, which is he was very jealous and he wanted Rosaria to himself. And that nobody else understood him, and so to protect her, he killed her to take her soul. So there's a couple of different reads of him. Silver Mask of Ringfinger Leonhard. In his youth, Leonhard suffered grave burns to his entire body. His face in particular, which he hid beneath his mask, was terribly scalded. He abstained from restoring these injuries, even after becoming a finger of Rosaria. So he kept them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And since I'm greedy, I'm going to keep the soul, and I'm going to transpose it. And a fine dark soul to me. Alright, let's go talk to Ludleth. Although I think Ludleth is dead at this point, so there's no talking to him. It's funny that his crown still is able to transpose, and I think that's what's actually doing it. His crown. Special miracle granted by the Princess of Sunlight. Gradually restores a large amount of HP for self and those in the vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, loved as both mother and wife, bestow their blessings on a great many warriors. Yeah, and this is the second time she's talked about as wife and mother is first, and that's because she had many, many, many heavenly children. She's probably the inverse of Manus. Manus had a lot of daughters too, so there's that. So I'm gonna do that. Thanks, Crown of Ludleth. I should change my fashion up. Nah. Too heavy. My dog's here. I don't know if you could have heard that. He made a huff and, like, ran in. Let's go with Carla's trousers. Yeah, that's much better. Hey, Marcus. Yeah, Sarah's armor is pretty neat. Probably my favorite set, to be honest. One sec. That should be back now. I had to mute the microphone for a second. Alright, drag heap. Let's go. We broke a finger, now let's go to the trash can. Loki, what are you doing? Nothing? You're just gonna stick your head close to me and just look at me like that? Silly. Yeah, I did a bunch of NK stuff. I figured we should do some progress and actually talk about things, rather than watch me bash my head against NK again. So let's go to the trash can.
Oh, your head's square on your shoulders, is it? I thought that clamoring tin can was the last. But here we go again. What is it you want from this old stone-out hag? I've nothing for you, not a smithereen. I just like to stand here and take in the view. Well, that came out of nowhere. You think an old stone-out hag will be brimming with goodies?
I mean, what else is underneath the stone hump? I mean, come on.
I've none of that, not a smithereen.
She's right, though. She doesn't really have anything. She has a DB, she has an HB, and she has a bunch of random stuff and some coins. Only 3 rusted coins, gold coins, and normal coins. Apparently, being High Priestess didn't pay a whole lot. Oh, did I just spoil that? Shut up, Hunter, I'm getting there. Jeez, so impatient. So she has unlimited coins, but only 3 rusted golds, HB, DB, a whole lot of embers, and 1 weapon. I don't need to sell anything to her.
At the close of the age of fire, all lands meet at the end of the earth. Great kingdoms and anemic townships will be one and the same. A great tide of human enterprise, all for naught. That's why I'm so taken by this grand sight. This must be what it's like to be a god. Oh, if you just can't stop yourself, at least hear this. Far below, there's a deep, dark hole carved out of a tree. From time to time, voices brim from the depths of the cavity even now. Mutterings of the very demon that Prince Lorien spoke of, I'm sure. Horrible sounds of an afflicted thing, yet cursing men.
So, she reveals that she knew Prince Lorien, at least enough to actually speak to him, or at least be close enough to hear what he says. She also says, it's afflicted, which means it's sick. There's your hint that it's got toxic, and yet cursing men. So it's still really pissed off. And there's your clues as to the Demon Prince boss fight, which is useful, but you probably won't realize there are clues until after. Anything else?
Great. That's this.
All right.
Keep your mouth at least.
So not actually static. Well, not wholly static. They have a layer that just keeps moving on a loop in the background. It gives everything a bit of movement, even though it is for the most part pretty static, except for that one layer in the back. Um, I'm definitely not unspoiled. I've gone through this a bunch of times. I have too many builds in Dark Souls 3 at various points in the DLC. So, what can you see from here, by the way? This is pretty much all Lothric. There's the dark sign over there. If you come back over here, it looks like... So, you come down here from here, and then you kill the thief that's initially looking out this way, and then you take the Blessed Mailbreaker up at High Wall. And then everything past that is broken away, because this would still be indoors. Up there should be the bonfire in High Wall. Some other things. Gale messages have a very particular animation on them. A bunch of skulls. I think he went to one too many metal concerts. Side note, everything with the red, this red cloth. So there's a bonfire that appears in Frida's room. There's a bonfire that appears next to the kiln, and at every drop there's this red cloth. It's from Gale. He tore it off of his cape, which is probably why his cape is so short when you meet him until it comes alive. And then he's got these Skelebro special messages because he's a special skull snowflake or something. Try backstepping. Take the plunge. You won't die. So everything here is ash. This is not snow. It is ash. Everything's just crumbling away. It's better than the silver cat ring, actually. I hate fighting Harald Knights, so I'm expecting to at least die to one of them. Oh right, he doesn't care about dark attacks. So convert to fire, move on that way. Ah, damn it. Stairs, please. Really, their hitbox is very tiny for plungings. So yeah, their weak point is their humanity head. Remember when I mentioned that in Norse way of thinking that the seat of your soul is in your head, not in your heart, like a great many of antiquity's thought? I feel like Dark Souls is putting both of those together. Like the seat of fire within a person is where the dark sign is, but the seat of humanity is up in the head. And there's the aquamarine dagger. Which is neat for sorcery builds. My sorcery build kind of likes it. Although, having to get as close as you need to get to combo into Aquamarine Dagger is kind of weird for my sorcerer. Yeah. A dagger fitted with aquamarine crystal, engraved with a prayer in the old tongue to ward off incident. Perhaps it was a parting gift given to one sent off on great travels. Seal, crystal blade, release magic from the aquamarine crystals, creating a fleeting blue crystal blade, lengthy enough to swing as a straight sword. Yep. And that's like the end game for all of the knights being sinking into the abyss itself. The old tongue. And it looks like some guy got buried under some rubble here. That's how he lost it. Yeah. Definitely, Marcus. It's very interesting. It's actually really striking, too, the combination of cultures at work in Souls. You guys are just here to mess with my lock-on. I have a sneaking suspicion this is the prince's boss room. I want to say this is the prince's boss room, just turned on its side. Or it could be... Dang it, what the hell? Plunging attacks? Who said you could have that tech? This could be the Duke's Archives, well, the Grand Archives, turned on it, like a big room turned on its side, because it is turned on its side. Like, that's the roof, right, kind of in front of us. And these are the... Yeah, this is the archives. Shoot. Alright, I turned the camera the right way to remember where this is. Aw, man, can't do that again. I'm so squishy. But, yeah. This is... Right above my head is where the undead bone shard would be. And then through that broken window is where you exit out. And you're like, why is this here? And it's the exit from the gargoyles if you try and fight the three of them at once. But like right above my head is where the undead bone shard is. So this is definitely on its side. But yeah, this is the archives. And there's your first view of the angels, the insectoid-like beings. See if I can't get a... No, I can't get a good look at them from here. I'll kill the angel before I come back for the ring that's around the corner. So, from the archives, I think this is a place we've not been in the main game. There's a lot of bits that it kind of traps you if you try and fight everything. Murky Longstaff is great for sorcery builds. Nope. Leave me alone. Oh, leave me alone! I actually didn't know there was a ladder until I just saw it. And then you can just pretty much drop down. Yeah, it's this ladder right here. Okay, so you can basically skip all that happened in there. Couple of things. I'm standing next to a serpent, and we'll look at it in a second. Yes, I know. Yes, I know, Hunter. But this is actually more interesting. It looks real. This knight here, because of the cape and how big it is. And it looks like he was trying a last-ditch effort to sacrifice himself for the good of the country, but it didn't work. Which makes this area a little hard to place. This is a snake or a pus of man. Probably a snake. It's got whiskers and everything. But it could be a pus of man. These things should be empty. Yeah, these are empty. All of these are empty. Remember what you heard of the Millwood Knights? And the Harald Knights. These Lorethrough Knights are suffering the same fate as those two groups of knights. Yeah. It's got whiskers and everything. And hair. And it coils up right here. Let me see if we can't get a different look. Yeah. This is probably this corpse right here is probably meant to be its host. But they only have so many corpses. Or corpse models. And I don't think they have a petrified corpse model that is attached to a puzzled man. So this guy is probably your host for this pus of man. And they attempted to kill it, and it didn't really work. And all of these knights sunk into the abyss anyway, so who cares? I like how they only have physics that one time you hit them. Where'd you freaking come? You scared the crap out of me, jerkwad. Alright. That's done. Let's take a look at this thing. I have an animated GIF of this thing on my Twitter account. So, there's that. But, take a good longer look. It is coming straight off of the back through the stone hump of a pilgrim. So the pilgrim is kind of laying down horizontally. The chains have broken, and you have this insectoid creature. It's got its arms crossed, I want to say. It looks very cicada-esque. I want to say it's upside down too, like its face is pointed out towards the angel where the whiskers are coming out from. So it has some root beds growing out of the stone hump. The chains are broken and everything else. It's got some scales too if you look really closely at its... That's good, dude. You keep trying to hit me with your head. Yeah. There's its mouth. You can see its mouth. Its eyes are closed. Its face is just a bunch of wrinkles. It's got hair and stuff like that. Through its thorax. I already talked about it, Hunter. Jeez. And then through some viscous attachments back to the stone hump. Really important. No, this is as close as you get to see it without aggroing the angel. The pilgrims and here's the thing about the cleric starting class. The cleric starting class says that they were on a journey. You don't know what that journey is, but you have that stone hump back on your back. Pilgrims, also on a journey, don't know what that journey is, also have stone humps on their back. Maybe they're basically the same thing. Little bit of scales on its arm. Alright, let's kill it. See ya. They all drop twinklings. Which might be a good time to actually look at the twinkling titanite description. Twinkling titanite for weapon reinforcement. Reinforced weapons steeped in strength to +4. These unique weapons cannot be reinforced by ordinary titanite, nor can they be infused, unless one uses this twinkling titanite, which reinforces weapons without unraveling their inherent strength. Yeah, I mean, like, they all drop twinkling. So, Very interesting there. These guys are looking very much like the Harald Knights. And so you come back and do that. Before we go over that little bridge that was created, let's go back up because I skipped a ring so that I can kill the angel first. Man, Ring of Steel Protection loves getting stuck on a ledge of a cliff, to a cliff. So let's head across this little land bridge. Again, light source, importante thing. Let's talk.
Oh, look at you. You've got your head screwed on correct. Fantastic. To meet a kindred spirit on this god's forsaken crag. Call me Lam. I can't remember my real name, so let's just go with that. I have a feeling we're going to make a fabulous team. Oh, you'll see. You'll see. In all honesty, there's something I should tell you. I'm hollow. Yes. I try to play it off, but I haven't a clue about my past, who I was, or what I lived for. Not even my own blessed name. That's why I've come here, searching for the Purging Monument. Said to be in the Ringed City, dark soul at the dawn of fire reside. All I can say is, those little stones aren't doing much to help me remember anymore. Well, that's the long and short of it. So if I completely forget who you are, don't be wroth with me. Come on, what else can I say? I'm a bloody hollow, for heaven's sake.
I like how Dark Souls 3... Someone's trying to steal a car outside, I'm sorry. I like how Dark Souls 3 redefines what it is to be hollow.
Well, so come on.
Alright. Nope, leave me alone. Seriously. Oh, time to go. Yes, I know there's a couple of things that I skipped out on, but I only have 3 Estus flasks. I'll come back. But yeah, very DS2 approach to hollowing. Makes one realize, hey, maybe we were running wrong about hollowing after all. That's in here. Didn't I just reset the area? So, welcome to Earthen Peak. Home of these guys who No longer really pack a punch because poison is not OP anymore. In Dark Souls 1, people thought, like, hollowing was it. Like, you were a mindless hollow and there's no reasoning or talking to you at all. And that you just went insane and you were just trying to feed on people's, like, souls willy-nilly. But there's, like, they insinuate there's no intelligence to a hollow. There's nothing left of them anymore. But DS2 and DS3 both kind of suggest that that's wrong and that there is some sapience to a hollow. Again, everything is on its side. I think DS3 builds on what happened in DS2, but if you want to expand upon that, that would be really helpful. 40-60k. Alright, let's keep moving. Lap will show up here eventually. There's our next Angel. Yeah. It's sort of like what Vodka said. Look at him looking around for me. He has no idea. It's like, where'd they go? What happened? I don't understand. Well, rip those guys. Let me see if I remember where speedrunner jump is. Ah, I missed it. Is that a dragon at the bottom? Oh, okay. Lapis returned.
Oh, I know who you are.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to forget.
Just
10
stay
minutes.
still in one piece. I can see why they call this the Dread Heap of the world's end. Mangled remnants from every age and every land. It actually sort of lends credence to the old rumours that the ringed city rests below it all. Don't mind me. You needn't worry yourself with this nonsense. I just wanted to tell someone. I'm sick of old hunting.
Oh, could you imagine him talking the stolen humped hag off?
By letting you in on a secret of sorts. Past here, you'll find the remains of a giant earthen tower. Half
For like
submerged,
decades, like just being talked to by Lap.
Only there's precious treasure in the thick of the swamp. I didn't have any use for it, you see. So, sorry, I left the whole package behind. If I get the chance, I could go fetch it for you. But if that's too long to wait, go and have it for yourself. I know who you are. A righteous warrior. Yes? With a solemn duty to boot. Well, grab that treasure. That's as good a duty as any.
Yay, treasure.
Past here.
Alright. He will get it if you take too long. Or if you die a few times. It's, I forget what the trigger is. But he will get it. Because he's just a sweetheart. I'm gonna go try and get my souls. Oh, there it is. Ah, I missed it. If you can make the jump, and you can make the jump, you can kill that angel real fast and just get the door shield, which is always fun. I've made it, but I think I'm just gonna grab my souls and peace out. If you can make the jump, it's very convenient. Oh, bye then. Lots of things to loot down there. First time I went through here, I found the entity from below, and I just arrowed it from like down there. It was pretty groovy that I was able to do that. See if chaos will work better. Meh. It does, because reasons. Anything? Nothing? And that's the Harald Knight, curved greatsword. Just let me get out of this poison muck so that I can read it for you guys. Alright, Homer Bone. Okay, so let's see here. Didn't read this, so let's get this one out of the way. Great Soul Dregs, a sorcery that fires great dark soul dregs that have stewed for ages far within the deep. This sorcery is the highest form of deep soul. Some of the mercmen who rise from the depths are possessed by soul dregs, which have grave likenesses to human form. But are they human? Probably actually not. But the mercmen, which are probably just the remnants of the scholars from the archive, are possessed by them. Makes one wonder if Aldrich and Sullivan kind of won in the end a little bit. Or the scholars got into something they probably shouldn't have. And they all got possessed. Let's see here. Curved. Great. Yeah. Harald curved greatsword. Giant gold decorated curved sword wielded by warriors of the Harald Legion who sought the dark soul. The swords sank into the dark with the Legion where their blades were severely corroded. Sever. Hold the giant blade with both hands and slash repeatedly at foes' feet, which is a moveset that that has been in pretty much every Souls game, and I wonder if it's in like a Kingsfield game. Like, it's that same moveset. It's in the Demon Souls opening cinematic, for instance, for crying out loud. I wonder, Hunter, I wonder if it is a connection to the Way of White and Kareem, but I think the Way of White and Kareem wouldn't go dabbling with an also-ran, which is the Deep. They would probably think of it as an also-ran. I really need to switch my spells up around. There's a proper loincloth and a Mad Harald Knight. Yeah, and the Deep violently took over a Way of White cathedral. It is not a Way of White cathedral. The Deep corrupted who was there and probably conquered at the edge of a sword who wouldn't be. I don't think there's a willing connection between the Way of White of Kareem and the Deep. The Deep is a fanatical organization started by Aldrich and stuff. So I don't think Kareem with its rules and such would be. Yeah, otherwise, you know, self-preservation is a pretty powerful thing. I mean, the threat is right there. It's just Aldrich who likes eating people. I mean, do you want to be fed to Aldrich, or do you want to embrace his Saint Aldrich's idea of the deep. I mean, he says delicious after I finish talking about, you know, Aldrich being a cannibal. I don't think Kareem really cares very much about the deep. Especially since you've got, what's-her-face, Irina and Aegon, who are hiding themselves away when they realize that an abandoned church, which is probably a Way of White church, and abandoned because who's going to take care of it anymore after the Deep took it over? They have nowhere else to go because there's no place else for them to go. Yeah, like they were forcibly taken over by Sullivan and Aldrich. I don't think, and considering I'm drawing allusions and parallels to, like, history that did the same thing, violent successions of religious orders and stuff like that, then I don't think they're playing by any different rule book here. Especially in a game about greed. Self-preservation is pretty powerful. Ah, damn it. I know it was a bad way when they all pulled together. Yeah, like, you'd have to read my Sullivan essay about all that. Tyrants kind of all work the same way. And the Deep is a radical departure from, like, standard Way of White dogma anyway, so. Yeah, I know. I wanna kill Zoe because she's got a really cool thing that I might want to use for my build. Damn it. She's got the flame fan, which is neato. Lap, why are you standing now? I already got it.
Oh, there you are. Perfect timing. You remember that treasure?
Yeah?
In the thick of the poison swamp. Well, I
Oh.
fetched it for you.
He got it.
As promised. Oh, it was only a hop and a skip. I needed a rest from old Nan over there.
She probably needed a rest
Go
from you.
ahead. It's yours. Maybe it'll help you with that solemn duty of yours.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you. Just random slab. Yeah, I don't wanna. Oh. I'm probably way too squishy for all of that. I already have a helmet. I think Mamatim dropped me one, which is weird. Chill out, man. Do 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 do. Everybody pray to Filianor whenever you run. The patron saint of running the heck away. Alright, I don't need your poison. I wanted to run right by her. Stupid flame fan. There's always like the revenge for just like running up on him and like smacking him around, because that's what you do in DS2. And she's like, no, that stuff's not gonna play. That stuff is not happening here. So you make the long jaunt back over. I was just gonna run and like drag him over to the angel. It's nice to see the bug dudes are thriving in not Earthen Peak. That's humanity. That's their humanity. Returned from the abyss. Yeah, she's seriously the doctor goddess. Damn it. They are not coming. Oh, I'll just deal with this. Goddess without borders. She runs around with like a red cross on her chest or something. I did look really close, Hunter. How much closer do you want? You want me to get smacked by their head thing? Come on. So unreasonable. I'm gonna drink some Estus. He's really angry about being really close. Yeah, we mentioned all of that, Hunter. What are you talking about? We mentioned the roots coming out of the tree stump. We mentioned all of that. So I don't get why your your goddess is a bed of chaos. Meh. Here's a neat view. Trees. One big tree. This is your view of your boss arena. Stumpy said that it was carved in, but it looks like it was caved in. Another look at the boss arena. You can see it, the plop right in the middle there. Alright, we need to go back up and around. There's the drop-off point right there. A couple of things I still need to get, but I'm going to dump a soul into a level and then going back. Where's Korea? Okay, Alright, 57K.
Ashen one, if thou wish them call, I am of Fadask. Very well, then take me. Mayst thou thy peace.
He's gone. Cornix, Orbeck.
Back again, I see. Perfect. Well, Mr. State.
I'm just buying them just to...
Again, let us know.
Yeah, once you start buying things, he drops his pretenses. Let me organize my stuff. I don't reach for that too much. Let's go with Firestorm. And let's go finish exploring since we have, I think, all of the angels taken out. Wait, where does it say she used humans for her ritual? Have anything else to say?
This really is a mangled remnants from every age and every land. It actually sort of lends credence to the old rumors that the ringed city rests.
Where is it implied?
This really
Forgive me for
is
being
a
really
great
skeptical, but I'm pretty skeptical.
mangled remnants from
They only say that she used her own soul for it. Oh Lord. Well, I'm just gonna keep playing. Chat can go buckle up. So, the Desert Pyromancer stuff is all over the place. And then there's a place down here in this jerkwad. Door, but shield. That's a good note. Everything is falling out. Whew, that was close. Yeah, the jump would be like straight this way or something. And you can make it if you time it really well. And then you'd have a straight shot to kill the angel and to the bonfire. Basically, it allows you to skip an entire level. There's the gloves, which I actually like using for all my fashion. They're nice and simple. There's a dead demon right here. This is a dead demon skeleton right here. See the horns. And the bones. This is going to be a YOLO run, because there's a YOLO run this way. here's a dead Harald Knight. It doesn't have a head, obviously. It's burned to a crisp, obviously. The slab would be over here, but slab already got it. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I heard he doesn't give a crap about normal pyros, so I have to switch out to everything. Somebody told me that they were like, oh, yeah, I was a pyromancer against the Demon Prince. It didn't work out too well. I might just go full melee on Demon Prince and just not worry about pyromancy at all. Alright, I really just gotta kill Zoe. Everything else should be taken care of. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I heard about it from somebody else, but I didn't see Cowboy fight it. He's usually really good, so I don't doubt it. I figured I'll probably just go full melee on him. Currently just looting the area, though. There's a lot to loot. This place is huge. Ah, damn it. Ah, damn it. Did she just fall off like a doofus? Yeah, she did. Get over here. Alright, you're out. Oh, come on. She just went super aggressive in her last, like, after she realized she had no more Estus. Bah. Bah. Zoe. I can just about outrange her, but like I was missing pokes. Frickin' Zoe. Urgh. Alright. All for Flame Fan. And the hood. Alright, so we have, the Onyx Blade has the longest reach in the game, so, the poke is powerful. Especially since NPCs usually don't not get into, like, the poke. They're worse in DS2 when they fall into my, the Claymore poke a lot more, but you know how it is. Flame Fan. Pyromancy of Zoe, descendant of the desert pyromancers. Probably because she was sick and tired of her sisters and brothers getting run right into and meleeed to death all the time. Used repeatedly to brush the fan of flame left and right. Zoe possessed true beauty, as did all desert pyromancers, but hers did not poison, and so she became the unassuming queen of the feeble ones. I wonder, that's gotta be like a reference to Myth of the Baneful Queen. Once again, another reference to Myth of the... another probable reference, may I say, to Myth of the Baneful Queen. Let's see here. And their armor. Desert Pyromancer Hood, Hood of the Desert Pyromancers, who once walked the halls of the Earthen Peak. It is said that the thin burgundy cloth breathes with magic. Desert Pyromancers, most of them female, were known for their great fans of flame and enchanting looks, but what is enchanting can also be deadly, especially when clothed in such alluring garb. Yeah, feeble, cursed one. This is the Painting Guardian hood, which I know I did not read. Attire of the Painting Guardians whose forms are described in the mythology of heretics, but turn out to be as far back as the Ring City. A smooth, pale hood that deters magic. The hunchbacked teller of ancient tales describes unwanted souls who are unwelcome across the lands and are eventually drawn into a cold, painted world. I think it says the same thing on... Yeah, it says the same thing everywhere else. It is the best when you're hollowed out. It's really funny. And there's some things on the rooftops I did not get. So let's do that and then fight a boss. There's a DB. And I already got the... This little hole will also tell you about, the little pilgrim down there, because the pilgrim would be like right down there. Okay, time to reattune spells. Go full dark or something. This is combustion, just move that in there. Oh yeah, I have 4 slots, that's right. I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work either. Okay, so we're here We're gonna fight some princely dudes. So, let's give it a couple of shots solo. Maybe. Maybe if I really feel like I need it, then... The hard part is keeping them separate. Lockdown switched. Alright, time to go. Time to go. Damn it. The steering wheel well too. The toxic pressure and got me there. I don't know. I don't think these guys are too bad. I don't think they're too terrible. Didn't move fast enough. Damn it. Actually, they do, but it's really just about separation. Because if you don't separate them right, then they will double up on you, because they have a habit of clipping into each other. So that one hit you take is actually probably 2 or 3. They're not as against each other as Frida and Ariandel, though. Like, they can be separated pretty well. Especially in NG+ cycles. just lost. I lost 16,000. Just like that. They just doubled up on me. It prevented a critical. I had to get out of here. I had to separate. Just got prevented out of another one. Early. That was late. Let's fix something. Okay, I need that, need that. Don't really need anything else. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Let me throw on protection. Because I'm really squishy right now. Would you guys stop protecting each other from like getting critical? Ring around the fire link. Two really angry demons chasing after me. Early. So this guy has the same moveset as Sanctuary Guardian. What a jerk. I don't like fighting this version. By the way, this version is not my favorite. Everybody says the other one is the easy one, but I'm like, I'm dead. As funny as it sounds, I don't like fighting that version. But he has a lot of the same moveset as Sanctuary Guardian. Which makes sense because of the poison in the area and the poison in his body in the first phase. I don't know, maybe. Velka probably never existed. How's that for a hot take? Velka never existed. Just a way to keep the forlorn in line. Think about it. You create a sort of salvation in people who are forlorn, and you suddenly have people in line. Dark Souls. What if Patches is actually Velka? And they created this motherly figure to give the forlorn salvation. Because what's worse than a person who, like, has nothing to lose? That was close. Damn it, I was out of stamina. Damn it. Tried to get that, sneak that heal right in. Alright, I'm gonna have to throw my Estus across. And go full 15 or something. Alright, be right back. Who is Sawyer?
Just good, wasn't he? Funny, be careful.
Alright, don't need that right now. Velka, a lie meant to snag. Like, those who adhere to Velka and her cult and her ability to kill gods, and if you are an adherent of Velka, you are kind of marked as a traitor to the gods and either locked away like Havel or thrown into the painted world or offered the painted world. Hot takes, man. I'll do this one more time solo and then I will probably just summon up Lap. Because my new position starts on Monday, and I'm not sure how that's going to affect schedules and stuff. If you want to see me hit this solo in New Game Double Plus, it's on my YouTube channel. A couple of ways I approach this fight is I like going after the aggression one first. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I go after the aggressive guy and I just dodge the slow toxic dude. But you really have to just keep separating them because they will double up on you. I'm kind of slightly under leveled too, though, to be fair. I'm only sitting on 31 bit, I think. I have souls that I can pop and get more, but... yeah, I shouldn't have taken that. Great. I'm gonna start this over. I feel like the HP total is fair. Like, I actually really like fighting them. It's kind of a, it's kind of neat. And like I said earlier, the Demon Prince itself has a lot of the same moves as Sanctuary Guardian from the first DLC of Dark Souls 1. And so, like, it felt really familiar fighting Demon Prince. Also, the, look at this synchronized temper tantrum. The theme of brothers in Dark Souls is here again. You have these two. Yeah, great form. I tried to dodge that. That was late. Yeah, I don't mind. Like, Madeira is probably my favorite fight in the game, which is weird because I like dudes in armor a lot more than monster fights. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of monster fights, actually. I'm much more of a fan of dudes in armor. Isn't that Slashy Souls? Hey, Toby. Nice to see you. Well, good luck with the move, Toby. I hope you have a great one. Right now. I misjudged that. Oh, what? I totally never saw that before. Gotta love that violin. There's his Sanctuary Guardian sweep. Damn it. Oh, I'm out. Yeah. We're gonna have to summon in the lap so I can get through it. I can do it, but I'd be here all night. That was actually a really good run. I had like 12 Estus into second phase. But you can tell I don't really pay attention to my own character. So, like, the camera doesn't really bother me too much. Because I'm just kind of audio dodging half the time. Nah, he dies too fast in this. He's not a very good weapon. Yeah, but he dies really fast. Kinda not worth keeping the uncle. Stop double teeping on my friend! Alright, I'm just gonna go help Lap. Damn it. I was backing up to heal. Messed up there. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams are da, da, da. Sweet dreams. Let's bring the amnesiac. Hey, Johaj. What's up? Whee! My dog is being really bored. You can hear him dealing with his, making noises. He really likes doing that. Stop. Jeez, getting hit by all the hitboxes there. Lap is about to die. Lap's dead. Hey, Loki. He's right up against me now. Shit. Loki, what's the matter? Huh? You bored? Aw, poor Loki. Demons don't care much about dark attack damage. It's true. My dog is currently curled up around my, where I'm sitting on the floor. I have a DB, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it. Even if I DB'd. Oops, forgot to summon Lap. Oh! Loki, what's the matter? Lay down. It's because I sit on the floor to play video games. And so Loki wants to play. He wants my attention. I know, Loki. Loki, what? Why are you pushing my hand around? Jeepers. Whoops. Okay, jeez. Whee! 135 buffed. Okay. 125 not buffed. Yeah, I know. And this is a Pyromancer build, which is the worst at this boss. Ah, come on. Thought I missed that. Just ran to the side. What? Guys, did you see that? Did you see that? It's me. I'm Velka. I can't believe I flew Havoc Physics Engine. Seriously. Lab doesn't even care. Lab's pretty good at Demon Princes. As long as you are pretty good at knocking out phase 1 as fast as possible, Lap will have some Estus to like just tank it, because he's really tanky. Okay, yeah, this is Firelink Shrine 1. Nice and on fire. If you come back, the fire's out, but you know. Let's see here. Let me reorient myself. I'm sure everybody knows by now, like, the orientation and geography of this place. You fall down right next to the well, which I think is already gone. Like, they have to reload the place to get everything. Yes! That's one thing I wanted to say because I noticed it when I was watching the playback of Old Demon King's boss fight. You know when Old Demon King does his Desperation Explosion move, right? That like explosive move that he does right at the end of his boss fight, and like he goes into like complete exhaustion. Here's my thought about that. He had the Demon Prince soul on him as the king, as the Demon King. When he knew he was going to die, because he's at like what 5-10% when he does that move, he releases the demon soul out into the world to go hit the next person, sort of like Highlander. So this was in the Old Demon King. That move that he does at the end releases it, and this Demon Prince gets shared between the two twins, who are somewhat like the only demons left at this point, because the only demons left at this point are the Uber demons, which are, you know, the lightning gargoyle guys, because their only job is to transport you from one realm to another, especially if they're like really far apart from each other. Yeah, basically it's sent out, it bursts out of him and is picked up by these Batwing brothers, and it's meant to echo these dudes. Because brothers is a sort of one of those like thin threads that are in like every Dark Souls game, I think. Yeah, because Dark Souls 1's brothers are like Gwendolyn and the Nameless King. Dark Souls 2, it is Vendrick and Aldia. In Dark Souls 3, it is Lorien and Lothric. And then you get these two brothers who inevitably kind of split apart this soul because they were twins. And like, when you kill one, they pick up the other half. And bam. Yeah, Rame, Veldstadt, brothers in arms. Soul of the Demon Prince, one of the twisted souls steeped in strength. Used to acquire many souls or transposed to extract its true strength. The demons, birthed from a common chaos, share almost everything between them, even the pride of their prince and its near-faded flame. And the prince isn't like a real person. It is this soul. Now, if you look really closely, and I'm sorry, I don't have a camera or like one of those pens that you have at like football games, but if you look really closely, there's a person like in this, or humanity in this flame. Yeah, exactly. Like you can see it right in the middle, because if you think of a humanity sprite, it would be right in the middle, and where the dark sign would be is where the brightest spot on this soul icon is. So like if you go from the brightest spot and you consider that to be that little the dark sign, or the knot on humanity sprites, then you go up, that would be the tiny little head, and then there's shoulders in the middle. So there's all that. Yeah. So there's some of that. This is reload this place because the Demon Prince, the demons in pain, they kind of break the well because they're jerks. So let me see if sitting the bonfire is going to do that, or if I have to just reload the whole area. Kind of wish it stayed on fire. Do you mean Ashes of Ariandel, Monkey Maxi? Also, hi, how are you? What's up? Yeah. Yes, I do. I have completed that one. Here's the well. It's like, you know, it's full of crap and debris and stuff like that. This would be where the bonfire is. This is the miracle landing pad that Gale figured out how to do, because he figured out how to deal with like miracles and sorceries and stuff like that. Funny thing is, I think they use the same sort of basis for the script as like Drakengard and Nier do for the angelic script. Although the angelic script in Nier is an actual script. I can later on, but we're running through some of the lore and we're talking about lore. So I can probably help you later on, but maybe not today. So what else do we have here? We have roots, trees, rocks, lots of trees, and the lunch, dinner, and breakfast of all of these guys. Gale is okay. Gale is the reason why I say time doesn't matter in Souls games, and that the actual in time of starting the journey and starting the game and ending the game is actually maybe decades or maybe even centuries. But the reason why it doesn't look like anything changes is because you're effectively immortal, and time looks really slowed down when you're effectively immortal. So, like, time doesn't matter. Gale was a slave knight. So he did all the slave knight things, and he came out of it. I suggest he was the champion from the Champion's Gravetender, because the slave knights are linked to the PvP arena stuff, which is linked to the Champion's Gravetender, and I think the Champion's Gravetender was basically, you know, Gale's little memorial or whatever. Anything he did before that or whatever is beyond me, but the time it takes for him to go from meeting you in the chapel, the cleansing chapel, to you fighting him at the very end of this DLC is hundreds of years. Hundreds. Let's just go over really quickly what his accomplishments were. His accomplishments, after helping you defeat Frida, he figured out how the miracle ring casting signs are. And so he figures out how to do the landing pads that you jump onto in the rubbish heap. He figures out how to improve the corona, the Way of White corona, to do multiple different coronas at once. He ends up breaking his executioner sword and then reforging it in a different manner. He figures out how to make a machine gun out of a crossbow. He also figures out how the summon signs works so that he can like force summon himself to your side, which makes it look like he's teleporting to you. Gale's list of accomplishments after meeting you is incredible, and it is hundreds of years in the making. So, like, time doesn't matter in Souls games, and I don't know why people are like, well, how long? What's the timeline? It doesn't matter, really. 49K? Yeah, like, Way of White Corona will date his Miracle of Knowledge to Lloyd. I'm not sure if he was a ringed knight, but it is possible he fought with them as cannon fodder. Because I think he uses his slave knight armor as a point of pride. And I think, like, if he was to go back to being like a ringed knight, he would wear ringed knight apparel, but... I mean, it's possible. Like, yeah, Hunter, it's like there's a general like A to B to C to D, but does it matter like the specifics? I don't know.
Then call him I am of Faust. Very well, then take it.
So the max for this build is 34 vigor. So I'm like one level off from that. And then intelligence and faith will have to go to 40 each. That should drop me at to 120.
Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Alright, let's finish off today's stream by taking an Uber. No, that's not the Ring Knight brand. That's the dark sign everybody has. I think that's the dark sign everybody has that is consuming him because he has the dark soul. Like, everybody has the dark sign. And the Ringed Knights used the dark sign to a way we don't, and Gale is also using his dark sign in a very similar fashion. The brand is what everybody has. And that's part and parcel of, like, Gwyn's real politic when it comes to trying to suppress any chosen undead who might usurp him. Yeah, because it's devouring him whole. He can't handle the dark soul. He's not a chosen undead so much. He's not a vessel. He has his own soul, and his fire and the dark soul are like not compatible with each other, and they're devouring him whole from the inside out. Because if you look at Gale's hole in his chest, it looks like it is coming from the inside out. So it's like devouring him until there's nothing left. Which is also another reason why this player character is special. Because they're a vessel for souls. So they're the perfect vessel, quote unquote, for the dark soul. Which is why it doesn't do what it does to Gale to you. Okay. Small envoy banner. The small banner, used by envoys of the great Lord Gwyn in the days of yore, face the ringed cliff and hold the banner high to summon facilitators of transport, or a lift, or an Uber. For the pygmies who took the dark soul, the great lord gifted the ringed city, an isolated place at World's End, and his beloved youngest daughter, promising her that he would come for her when the day came. Like, I have to realize that the dark sign that is on everybody that you can't really see on a woman because reasons. Hold on. Yeah, you can't really see on a woman because reasons, but it's there. It's a sign of fire, the dark sign. I mean, you have to go back to the opening of Dark Souls 1 for that, but like every chosen undead, every undead who is capable of usurping Gwyn's position is somehow branded with the undead. Yeah. Like, Gale is probably one of the more tragic characters in the series, but, like, Gale could have been any chosen undead. The Ashen One is different because the Ashen One is a memory of a person rather than being the actual person. I think I'll wear that Slave Knight armor. Yeah. Yeah. So that realm is over there. And then you have a whole bunch of nothingness. This is also very Purgatorio, very, very Dante. A lot of this is very Dante. Don't just read Inferno, read Paradiso and Purgatorio, because Paradiso and Purgatorio are referenced pretty hard in Dark Souls 3. I love how you're just cavalier about it. You're like, oh, hey guys, what have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a dog's age. Here, I'll just lift my hands. It's such a change from the first time you actually take one of these Ubers. You're like, what the hell's going on? And now you're just like, oh, whatever. Just super cavalier about it. It's really funny. Some notes about the ringed city itself. It looks very much like the center of a mandala. And looking up a mandala, there is always kind of a central location. Now, depending on what type of mandala, it could be like the center of Buddha or whatever. But some mandalas are a little city, like the afterlife. There's a few other references to the Hebrew Sheol, which is sort of like the purgatory and afterlife sort of underworld kind of thing. That you'll find. And this could also be like an Empyrean, like a twisted Empyrean reference from Dante. Yeah! Turkish Tibetan architecture. Chicken! I didn't even hit the bonfire yet, dude. Alright. Bye. You didn't notice? You dummy. Welp. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but... Just pretending.
Yes. Yes, of course. How would one such as thee do service to the gods? I have intimate knowledge of thy kind. I know.
He's a pygmy.
The dark soul, is it not?
This dude is a pygmy lord.
One day to visit this dummy. Give rest to thy falsity. I would be an ally to thee.
He has a lot of gray hair. He wears similar robes. Hell, he wears similar robes to Ludleth. But he's got a couple of Mon sort of there. His feet are blackened and veiny. He's pretty old. He's got lots of hair. I don't know. My hair is annoying as it is. I need to get a haircut, but his hair is longer than mine. It's crazy. How did he escape? It's like, yeah, I don't know. He looks somewhat human, but not quite. He's got bangles like Volnir, so maybe Volnir was onto something, but it didn't quite work. He doesn't have a crown on, but he has very similar robes to the other pygmy lords that you find later. What's really interesting, and what I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts on, as I'm going to hit back to Firelink Shrine in a moment. Whether you answer him that you're serving the gods or just pretending, he says you're a freaking liar, and that you're just here for the dark soul, and that
If it is the dark soul thou desirest, then seek Fëanor's church at the base of the cliff. There wilt thou the sleeping princess waken. Her slumber is a deceit, a lid covering an overgrown privy, a prop to keep thee from the dark soul of thy desire. Worry not, I am a true friend to thee. If thou art yet human, the urge will soon begin to swell, to curse the gods and bring ruin upon this accursed eve down.
no, it's definitely not that extreme.
Now, yearly to Fëanor's church.
He really wants you to wake up the princess.
Rouse the
He super duper wants you to wake up the princess.
the dark soul desires.
He probably saw the gargoyles popping in, flying in, and he decided to show up here to meet you because you are a hope of his. But why? And he seems to already condemn you as someone naturally greedy. If you are yet human, the urge will begin to swell. Greed seems for him to be intrinsic to the human condition. And he wants to destroy the city. He's sick. The city is a prison for the pygmies. It's a beautiful prison, but it is a prison. And like I said about Velka earlier, that was a spitball, by the way. I was just thinking about that. And it just came to me when I said that. But like I said about Velka earlier, when you create something like Velka, like a beautiful prison, like the movie Pleasantville, you tend to forget that it is a prison. You tend to forget that you are being treated like a second-class citizen, even if you are given his beloved youngest daughter in a sort of political marriage with a dowry of a chloranthy ring. It's all a lie. It's just there to give the pygmies hope that maybe you are on a peer of Gwyn, the First Lord. But it's just a lie, just to keep you oppressed in some way, shape, or form. And he knows it, because sometimes to realize that you have to realize that you're first in an aquarium, and you have to also realize that you have legs to get up out of the aquarium. I think Fëanor was symbolically wed, not like literally wed, but like symbolically so. And then there's two other things I wanted to get to talk about. Seething chaos from the soul of the demon prince. The last flame lit by the demon prince, this pyromancy hurls a clump of chaos. Upon impact, the clump of chaos seethes wildly, condenses briefly, then explodes violently. To the demons, these clumps are shreds of life. And Quelaag's Fury Sword, I mean Demon Scar. This chaotic thing, the last flame kindled by the demon prince, is shaped like the claw marks of a demon. It is both a fiery bladed weapon and a pyromancy flame. Yeah. to realize, you have to first realize that you are living in an aquarium and that you have legs to get out of it. But yeah, Filianor is symbolically wed. Now there's a couple of item descriptions that suggest that there's a whole line of pygmy lords, and then there's the 50 trillion different thrones that Gale goes through, and Gale does kill like 3 pygmy lords in the beginning of that boss fight. So I think she was symbolically wed. It's like, here to the great pygmies, a bridge of good faith from God. But remember, Gwyn was realpolitik, and he really wanted to keep his power in check. Gale is fun. Gale is fun, but yeah. Is there anything anybody wanted to say? Any suggestions for how to use the Demon Prince on this pyromancy build? Anything I started talking about and then forgot to finish? Anything else? Kind of strikes me as odd that the desert sorcerers are reputed to be beautiful, but they all cover their faces with a thin veil. Oh, one other thing that I started talking about off of Hunter's idea. Remember, Aldia said that this body you work so hard for at the beginning with the character creator is a fleeting form and is part of the lie. Oh, and if you wanna continue on talking and chatting, we can raid Hunter M's stream. So if you want to do that, Hunter's gonna stream some. But if nobody has anything else to say, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. It is the internet, and there is always 5 other things you could be doing. But you chose to hang out here and ramble about Dark Souls lore, and that's fun. So thank you very much for joining me, and good night, everybody. Go mess with Hunter M on his stream. Good night.